Okay, the first thing we'll want to know is where we find the llama. Under your DAS studio, under animals, there'll be one called another directory called Midnight, and then under that directory will be called Midnight Creatures. And this one is MC2, which is short for Midnight Creatures number 2. The lizard was number 1, so and the next one will be MC3 and so on. The first thing you'll notice is it comes with two different fur presets. One's a bit rougher than the other one. The default one is it's more fine-tuned and smoother. There's the base which you load in and then just apply your wearable presets to it. It comes with horns. This was just a last minute add-on. Maybe somebody will get some use out of it. But the normal way you would do it is just double click this guy. Okay, and then you would drop and drag, but I suggest not to do the drop and drag, mainly because sometimes it can be a bit hit and miss. So make sure you've got MC2 Llama selected, then just double click your wearable thing, and comes over, and you'll notice straight away that the fur is not parented to the llama. Now that's because you can't, with DAS strand-based fur, you can't have it parented to the actual the creature that you're rendering fur on. It has to be outside it. So that's the reason why. So as you can see, you can't see the fur. It's turned off because it just makes it a lot smoother and quicker to do. So we'll just give it just a quick render. Okay, that roughly took about just under 2 minutes with default DAS settings. You can get it, the fur can look a lot better the longer you bump it up, the renders up. Now this is the default fur that comes with it. We'll just put this guy over the side. Now we'll just delete this fur, and we'll put the thicker fur on him. And again, just click on your llama in your scenes tab, double click, and then we'll just hit the render again. Okay, that roughly bit over 2 minutes, and as you can see, this the thicker fur set is a bit more rougher and thicker around the edge. We'll just bring in the first one to compare with them, and as you can see, this is a much finer and softer fur compared to the one we just rendered. So, and I think the default DAS render is about 1,000 iterations, or a bit over. So that gives you a rough idea of the difference between the two furs you get. Okay, we'll just close these down now. Now, I would advise not to load things in this way because it takes quite a fair bit of time to muck around and, you know, drag and drop things in. So we'll just delete this guy and delete the fur because they're not linked. I've got 3 different subsets, so you'll see them, they'll be called sets. We'll just load in, we'll just double click the black one, and again the fur is there, you can see it over here. I've labelled it black fur and llama black, so that all matches up to it. So now if we loaded in the brown llama, again you'll see the brown llama loads in and the fur loads in. Okay, so we'll just move, I don't know, the brown one out the road a little bit. Okay, and they'll both render out, no troubles at all. Now, if you want to change the style of this is like the male version of it. We can change that. So the black one will change under the folder. You'll have one called shape poses. Now there's 3 different ones. There's the baby, we'll just say click on the baby llama, so it shrinks it down to that size. The female llama, and back to the male llama again. So we'll just we'll put it on the baby one, and we'll do a quick render again. And as you can see, there's the baby one with the black fur on it, and the other one with the brown fur on it. At the moment, it's a little bit difficult for me to navigate around, so that's why I'm stuck. Because to get everything in the video, I've got to pull everything across, and that covers the Daz Studio controls, which I hope they update one day so that it actually will include that with the rescaling of the windows. So that's really the basics of it. We'll close these down now. It comes with about 10 poses, and doesn't matter whether you use it on the baby or they all have the same sort of so the different scenarios which you might want to use them in. So hopefully there'll be enough there for you to get started. I'll probably do another one on rendering and best practices, best quality renders you can do for it. So, but this should get you started. Another thing to note: if you do delete something from the scene, say we'll delete the brown llama. What happens? It doesn't delete the fur with it. So the fur will just lie around floating, and so if that, you know, if we'll do a render and see what happens. So as you can see, the fur is still in the scene. It's in the background there, and it's not conforming to anything because let's see, parameters. Will I show you this? Yes. So the brown fur, well, obviously you don't see it in the scene because it's switched off. But normally it's trying to fit to an object in the scene that isn't there anymore. So if you wanted to change that manually, you could just change it to fit to the black llama, and that would work perfectly fine. But normally, after you've deleted your llama from the scene, I've got the black matching the black fur, and I had the brown llama matching the brown fur. So just delete that. Materials, that's one thing I didn't cover. Where are we? Not under materials. We've obviously got 3 eye settings for him. Blue, brown and red. Llama, easy. Now it is important to match these up with the fur because otherwise I would have had to have a massive fur on there that's pretty heavy as it is now. So obviously brown, then you apply the brown fur, and white fur. Horns, I do have, where are we? Back to the beginning. So select your llama again, click on your horns, and your horns will automatically trigger off a horns morph on the head. They're not fantastic horns, but I just thought somebody might get something out of them. You can under shaping, there's quite a few different horn shapes. Long, where are we? Bend in and out. Bend in. Front. Back. But you've got to be mindful of some of the morphs. Probably the short one's not a real good one to have. It doesn't work real well with the other ones because it's more for the longer horns. So I think that just about covers everything. So I hope you get some fun out of it, and I look forward to seeing you in the forums.